Obadiah Stane, aka Ironmonger. Played by Jeff Bridges, Stane is the main antagonist in Iron Man. As both Tony Stark's business associate and a close friend to his father Howard, Stane initially steps into the role of CEO at Stark Industries following Howard's death, until Tony officially took over shortly after. Stane's jealousy of the younger Stark led him betraying Stark by joining forces with the Ten Rings to organize a failed attempt to assassinate him and reclaim his position as CEO. He also supplies the Ten Rings with weapons from Stark Industries to support their operations in the conflict-ridden Golmira. But when his involvement with the terrorists was exposed by Pepper Potts, Stane created an armor and adopted the name Ironmonger and attempted to kill Stark himself, leading to his own death. Stane's character is complex, embodying both corporate ruthlessness and personal charisma, and his actions set the stage for Tony's evolution into a more responsible hero. Stane has no superhuman abilities. Instead, he relies on a technologically advanced suit of armor similar to Tony's. Another antagonist in Iron Man is Raza, the leader of a Ten Rings terrorist cell based in Afghanistan. He's the one who made deals with Obadiah Stane to kidnap Tony Stark in exchange for his weapons. But Stark being the goat he is, he escaped from captivity. Later, Stane agrees to exchange Stark's Mark I armor with Raza in a new deal. However, Raza and his men are betrayed and killed by Stane, punishing them for their failure to eliminate Stark. Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination. Portrayed by Tim Roth, he serves as the primary antagonist in The Incredible Hulk. Originally a special ops commander loaned to General Ross to capture Bruce Banner, Blonsky's obsession with power leads him to voluntarily undergo an experimental procedure that combines a recreated version of the super soldier serum and Banner's gamma-irradiated blood, which happened after losing to Hulk during a battle. This transformation turns him into the Abomination, a creature with immense strength and insatiable appetite for destruction. Blonsky's physical prowess is drastically enhanced, surpassing even the Hulk in a raw power during their initial confrontations. However, his inability to revert to his human form marks a stark contrast to Banner, who struggles with his dual identity but still retains his humanity. Abomination then proceeded to go on a rampage in Harlem where he was defeated by Hulk, after which he was taken into the US Army's custody and imprisoned in a cryocell facility in Barrow, Alaska. He appeared once again in Shang-Chi after Wong temporarily freed him to participate in a cage match with him at the Golden Daggers Club in Macau. After his match, Blonsky went back to his cell. He later appears in She-Hulk, where he was gained the ability to revert to human form, and he asked Jennifer Walters to help him with his parole hearing. She got him approved with the condition that he wouldn't turn into Abomination again. Once free, Blonsky started a support group, but he secretly did private shows turning into Abomination, which broke his parole rules. Blonsky chose to go back to prison, but Wong helped him get out and gave him a place to stay in Kamartaj. Blonsky possesses superhuman strength, durability, speed, agility, and a remarkable healing factor. Additionally, he can protrude bone spikes, further enhancing his combat abilities. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Portrayed by William Hurt, Ross is a high-ranking US military officer and the father of Bruce Banner's love interest, Betty Ross. Obsessed with capturing Banner, Ross aims to exploit the Hulk's powerful military applications. His relentless pursuit of Banner leads to significant collateral damage and escalates into a personal vendetta, blinding him to the broader consequences of his actions. In the face of these odds, Ross was forced to accept Hulk as an ally and leaving his military career behind, and later serves as the US Secretary of State. During this time, Ross has approved of the Sokovia Accords to regulate the actions of the Avengers and other enhanced individuals. And when Captain America publicly disowned the Accords, before going on the run along with Winter Soldier, Ross instructed Iron Man to bring them into custody. Ross arrested many of the Avengers, although Captain America would later break them out following the arrest of Zemo. Ross's action resulted in the divided Avengers failing to stop Thanos from causing the snap, killing trillions of people, including Ross. And after he was resurrected in the blip, Ross attended Tony Stark's funeral. His next appearance will be in Captain America Brave New World, where he's gonna be portrayed by Harrison Ford this time, because of William Hurt's passing. And we're gonna have our first look at Ross's Red Hulk. Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash. Played by Mikey Rourke, he is the antagonist in Iron Man 2. He's a Russian physicist who seeks revenge against the Stark family, blaming them for his family's ruin. His father, a former collaborator of Howard Stark, was deported back to Russia after allegedly betraying the Starks. Seeking vengeance, Vanko uses his engineering prowess and recreating an arc reactor based on his father's design, and designing an armor similar to Iron Man's but with long whips. He publicly confronts Stark at the Monaco Grand Prix, showcasing his power and declaring his intentions to the world. but was imprisoned. Despite that, Vanko's resourcefulness allows him to escape and further enhance his technology with his support of Stark's rival, Justin Hammer, in order to use his skills to create a functional advanced armor to compete with Stark's. But Vanko repurposed the armors into the Hammer drones, hijacking them and the Mark I war machine armor in an attempt to kill Stark and destroy his legacy. He was defeated by the combined efforts of Iron Man and War Machine, following which he chose to end his life by initiating a self-destruct feature within his armor. Vanko's suits equips him with capabilities similar to Iron Man's, including a superhuman strength, speed, stamina, reflexes, and flight, but unique to Vanko is his mastery of whip manipulation, using electrified whips as lethal weapons that add a distinctive edge to his combat style. Justin Hammer. Played by the talented Sam Rockwell, he is the secondary antagonist in Iron Man 2. Hammer is a self-centered businessman and ambitious CEO of Hammer Industries, and he's Tony Stark's business rival. Driven by desire to surpass Stark Industries, Hammer seeks to capitalize on Tony Stark's public vulnerabilities. So after Vanko's confrontation with Tony at the Monaco Grand Prix, Hammer decides to leverage Vanko's talents to elevate his company's standing in the defense sector. He frees Vanko from prison to attempt to replicate Stark's arc reactor technology, and hoping to use his expertise to create a fleet of combat drones that will overshadow Stark's Iron Man suits. However, Hammer's lack of technical insight and his underestimation of Vanko's own plans led to his downfall, leading into Hammer then being imprisoned inside of Seagate Penitentiary for his involvement in Vanko's actions, as shown in the Marvel one-shot All Hail the King. And while Justin Hammer lacks superhuman abilities, he is noted for his skills as an expert businessman and engineer, though his tactical acumen often falls short compared to his rivals. Loki. Played by Tom Hiddleston, he is one of the most complex and popular characters in the entirety of the MCU, first appearing in Thor as the biological son of Loki, king of the Frost Giants, who was abandoned and left to die shortly after his birth. Found by Odin, Loki was taken to Asgard and raised by him and Frigga as an Asgardian prince, becoming the Asgardian god of mischief. Being the adopted brother of Thor, Loki harbored a deep-seated jealousy and a feeling of inferiority due to his perception of being in Thor's shadow. His initial betrayal sets him on a path of trickery and chaos as he attempts to claim the throne of Asgard. In the Avengers, Loki's ambition escalates as he allies with the Chitauri army to invade Earth, seeking to subjugate humanity and prove his worth and power, only to be thwarted by the newly formed Avengers. Thor returned him to Asgard as his prisoner, where Odin condemned him to spend the rest of his life in the Asgardians' dungeons as punishment for his crimes. Loki's character evolves through subsequent films, like Thor the Dark World and Thor Ragnarok, where his role oscillates between antagonist and an ally to Thor. And despite his betrayals, moments of genuine care for his brother and Asgard show through, adding layers to his character as more than just a villain but a misunderstood anti-hero struggling with his identity and destiny. In Infinity War, Loki's arc seemingly concludes, with a redemptive act as he attempts to kill Thanos, paying with his life. However, his story continues in an alternate timeline version in Endgame, where a 2012 version of Loki escapes with the Tesseract, setting the stage for his own series Loki on Disney+. The series dives deeper into his character, exploring his vulnerabilities and his struggle with identity, ultimately setting him on a path that diverges significantly from his villainous beginnings. Loki's frost giant lineage grants him superhuman strength, durability, and ice manipulation abilities, and as the Asgardian's god of mischief, he possesses skills in creating illusions, conjuring decoys, hiding his presence, and employing telekinesis and other mental manipulations. Johann Schmidt, aka Red Skull. Played initially by Hugo Weaving in Captain America: The First Avenger, and later by Ross Marquand in Infinity War and Endgame. He was the leader of Hydra, a rogue Nazi science division. Johann Schmidt undergoes an early version of the Super Soldier Serum, which grants him enhanced abilities but deforms his face, giving him his iconic red-skinned, skull-like appearance. While he led Hydra, Red Skull had found the Tesseract, which he had believed could help him to control the world. However, his plans were challenged by the Allies' only super soldier, Captain America, who destroyed the Hydra facilities. Once Red Skull had launched his offensive, intending to bring the United States down into its knees, he was intercepted by Captain America. However, the fight ended when Red Skull touched the Tesseract with his bare hands, prompting it to create a wormhole and send him elsewhere. His story arc continues in Infinity War and Endgame, where he serves as the Stone Keeper, a cursed guide to the Soul Stone on Vormir. This role marks a dramatic shift from his past as a power-hungry villain to a spectral, almost tragic figure bound to guide others to a power he can never wield. The MCU has not yet detailed future appearances for Red Skull post-Endgame, leaving his fate somewhat open. The other antagonist of the first Avenger is Arnim Zola, played by Toby Jones. Working under Red Skull, Zola is a key figure in Hydra's scientific endeavors during World War II. His expertise in advanced technology and genetics helps Hydra harness the power of the Tesseract for weaponization. Zola's story continues in Captain America the Winter Soldier, where it is revealed that he survived beyond World War II by transferring his consciousness into a massive computer system. This allows him to continue influencing events even after his physical body has deteriorated. Within this digital form, Zola discloses to Captain America and Black Widow that he facilitated the infiltration of Hydra within S.H.I.E.L.D., subtly guiding the organization's actions for decades. So while Zola's physical form is destroyed in the Winter Soldier, his survival as a digital entity leaves the door open for potential future appearances. Aldrich Killian, played by Guy Pearce, he is the main antagonist in Iron Man 3. He begins as a largely overlooked and humiliated scientist who first appears at a New York Eve's party in 1999, where he unsuccessfully pitches his ideas to Tony Stark. Embittered by Stark's rejection and fueled by a desire for recognition and power, Killian undergoes a profound transformation, both physically and ideologically. He becomes the head of AIM and the creator of the Extremis virus, a powerful regenerative treatment intended to cure disabilities and enhance physical capabilities, but has explosive and dangerous side effects. Killian's evil nature becomes clear as he creates super soldiers with the Extremis virus and manipulates the media and government. He created a false terrorist figure, the Mandarin, as a cover for extremist-related explosions and using this fabricated threat to gain political leverage and drive his own agenda. His ultimate plan involves capturing the President of the United States to gain control over the country's armed forces and solidify his power. The climax of Iron Man 3 sees Killian declaring himself as the real Mandarin, engaging in a fiery battle with Tony Stark. He showcases the full might of Extremis, from superhuman strength and regenerative healing to the ability to generate intense heat. And despite his powers, he is ultimately defeated by Stark and Pepper Potts, who uses her own temporary Extremis abilities to kill him. Trevor Slattery, aka the Fake Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley, is an actor hired by Aldrich Killian to portray the Mandarin, a fearsome terrorist leader. Initially, Trevor presented as a menacing villain behind numerous terrorist acts, and is later revealed to be a bumbling, clueless British actor prone to substance abuse and entirely unaware of the real implications of his performances. His portrayal shifts from a threatening figure to a source of comic relief when Tony discovers him in a fortified compound. His story continues in Marvel one-shot All Hail the King, where he is shown in a high-security prison enjoying his newfound fame among the inmates. The short film delves deeper into his backstory and the consequences of his impersonation, setting up further exploration of the real Mandarin and the Ten Rings organization in the MCU. Malekith, played by Christopher Eccleston, he is the primary antagonist in Thor: The Dark World. He is the leader of the Dark Elves, a race of beings from the realm of Svartalfheim. Malekith is driven by a singular desire to return the universe to its original state of darkness, which he believes is the rightful and pure state of existence. Centuries ago, he attempted to use the power of the Ether to achieve this goal, but was thwarted by the Asgardians who captured the Ether and brought it to Asgard for safekeeping. In Thor: The Dark World, Malekith awakens from a long slumber after sensing that the Ether has been rediscovered, coinciding with a rare cosmic alignment known as the Convergence. His character is marked by a cold, merciless demeanor and a willingness to sacrifice his own people for his cause. He orchestrates an invasion of Asgard and later Earth, aiming to use the Ether during the convergence of the Nine Realms to plunge the universe back into darkness. The climax of his campaign occurs in London, where Thor confronts him in a battle that spans multiple realms. And despite the incredible power he wields, amplified by the Ether, Malekith is ultimately defeated by Thor, with crucial assistance from Jane Foster, whose scientific knowledge plays a key role in the battle. Malekith possesses superhuman strength, durability, and the longevity typical of his race. He's an expert in dark magic and has the ability to manipulate reality and matter, especially when wielding the Ether. Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, played by Sebastian Stan, he is one of the most pivotal characters in the MCU. He first appeared under this nickname, the Winter Soldier, was in Captain America the Winter Soldier. He is initially known as Bucky Barnes. He is Captain America's best friend and a fellow soldier during World War II. Presumed dead after falling from a train, Bucky is actually captured and brainwashed by Hydra, who transform him into the Winter Soldier, a highly skilled and lethal assassin equipped with a cybernetic arm. Over the next 50 years, he killed anyone who posed any kind of threat to Hydra or the Soviet Union, including John F. Kennedy, Howard Stark, and his wife Maria. And between those missions, Winter Soldier would be put back into a cryogenic stasis to ensure his longevity. In Captain America the Winter Soldier, he is revealed to be the mysterious operative carrying out Hydra's most sensitive missions. And during one of those missions, Winter Soldier was ordered by Alexander Pierce to kill Nick Fury, in order to ensure that all Pierce's schemes with Project Insight could go ahead. However, his encounters with Captain America ignite a conflict within him, as fragmented memories of his past life begin to surface. The Winter Soldier's journey continues through subsequent MCU films, including Civil War, where his past acts become a central catalyst for the Avengers split. Bucky's transformation into a hero begins to solidify in Infinity War and Endgame, where he fights alongside the Avengers against Thanos. His story further involves in Disney Plus series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where he seeks to make amends for his actions as the Winter Soldier, and redefine his role in a world without Steve Rogers as Captain America. The Winter Soldier is a complex character, embodying the struggles of a soldier who has been used as a weapon against his will. His evolution from a villain to a hero represents a journey towards self-discovery and redemption, making him one of the more nuanced and evolving characters in the MCU. Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford, is the central antagonist in Captain America the Winter Soldier. Pierce is a high-ranking official within S.H.I.E.L.D. and a secret leader of Hydra, having infiltrated the organization decades earlier. His character is a stark contrast to the traditional image of a villain. He is polished, charismatic, and wields significant political influence, embodying the archetype of a corrupt government official. Pierce's master plan involved using Project Insight, a network of satellites and drones designed to eliminate threats before they happen, which he intends to use to enforce a new world order under Hydra's control. His philosophy is rooted in control through fear and primitive action, believing that to save humanity, freedom must be sacrificed for security. This plan, however, requires the elimination of millions deemed potential threats to Hydra's vision of global stability. And Pierce is one of the few who can activate Bucky Barnes' brainwashing. The climax of Captain America the Winter Soldier sees Pierce's plans unravel as Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, and the awakened Bucky Barnes expose and confront Hydra's infiltration within S.H.I.E.L.D. Pierce's final downfall occurs when he is outmaneuvered and killed in the Triskelion, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s headquarters, after a failed attempt to negotiate his way out, showcasing his pragmatism and self-preservation instincts to the very end. And this is just part 1, so subscribe for future parts. They'll be coming out soon.